name is Gene, and yours would be?
Friends.
You know, I'll be a lot like King Henry VIII, you know, as he told his fifth wife, I won't keep you long. I do want to share a couple of things that talk about buzzwords with you. Frequently, and all of this is in context, and understand that we're talking about leadership, and you hear the word thrown about so terribly much, and I wanted to kind of put it in perspective. But the main thing to understand about leadership is always a contract, and a contract it must be between two people or two entities or two whatevers. And so when you think about yourself as a leader or whatever, and by the way, you know, when we talk about leaders, one of the funniest things that I saw in my 35 years of so-called leadership and so forth was when I heard that young officer or that young non-commissioned officer tell me that he had suddenly become a leader, I had to chuckle. Because leadership is a process. Anybody that you've always heard is a born leader, not quite true. He may be born with some of the things that if cultivated would make him an effective leader. But leadership is a process, and there are some techniques and things that you must do in order to work, and they must be recognized. First level leadership really is almost management. I call it the rights position. It is position. It is the assignment. It is the, I am an admiral in the United States Navy. People follow you, and that's what leadership is getting people to follow your example or whatever it is. And one of the things they used to say to guys is if you think that you are a leader, begin walking in a direction or doing something. After a few minutes, turn around. Look, if anybody's following you, then you're a leader. If they're not following you, as bold as you thought you were not leading. Okay, you're out there by yourself. Someone must be there. The contract. The first position is that rights position. People follow you because they have to. They have no other choice. And unfortunately, that is really management. Now, by definition, a leader is also a good manager. Converse is not necessarily true. Managers manage things. Leaders influence people. The difference is the influence. The second level is what I call the permission step. It's like a stair step, okay? It's a transition. Permission says that people follow you because they want to. Now, it's very closely tied to the rights position because generally it is associated generally with, okay, I kind of like Burton a little bit. You know, he is the boss, but I kind of like him anyway. And therefore, I'll kind of go the extra mile for him. That's the, I want to follow this person, and I'm hoping that he will do good, so it makes sense for me to follow him. Third position is where most people in the success arena operate. That position is called the results arena. This is a person is there as a result specifically of what he has demonstrated for the organization. What have you done for the organization? Production. People follow that person because they say, hey, if I do that, I can get what he's got. Okay. There are some elements in that contract with respect to that. The fourth level, now you're beginning to be the person that affects people. It's called the reproduction cycle. People are beginning to follow because they want to be like you. They are follow you because they do it because of what you can do for them as opposed to what you can do for the organization. This is when that young sailor or soldier looks the captain in the eye, and the question, he doesn't ask him that specifically, but what he is saying is, do you care for me? Can I trust you? Can you help me? And it's a very vulnerable position for someone to put themselves in your care. The reproduction position. They want to be like you. And then this final position really is a position that we call the personhood position. This is the position where people follow you out of respect. They may not know who you are or what you did, they just kind of heard. You know, this is the Gandhi. You know, droves of people, most of whom when you get there and you're at the big protest march, a lot of the kids, the things that are happening in Iran now, for example, most of the kids that are involved in that do know nothing about the goals and ideals of the person that they're protesting in support of. They know a general thing. They know that it might be a little bit different, but he's kind of been there for a while. The Martin Luther King, you know, the huge march in 1963. Most of the people knew that, hey, there's a young black preacher that's going to be preaching down at the Lincoln Memorial. Let's go. And they went. Okay. Now, here's the danger about that level also. That also could be the cult. Most of your significant leaders start out in that. Fidel Castro, for instance. Believe it or not, Saddam Hussein was a leader of a movement. The problem was that he became the movement, and then he became the personification of all of those things, and then, as Dr. Evers pointed out so brilliantly, and the belief became, I am everything that belongs, and now I can't change. That's the 5 levels. The contract is this. Operating, you can be on any one of those levels with any number of people in your organization. And the more complex your organization is, the greater the chance of you being on one or more of those levels with any numbers of people. You may be on level 5 with your best friend. You may be on level 1 with that person that hates you because you got the promotion and they didn't. Okay. You may be on level 3 because your numbers as a salesperson are blowing away the company and people are following. So it depends upon where you are in that relationship with every single person, and you must renew that over and over. The key to that is knowing yourself and knowing the people that you associate with. With that said, I'm done. Thanks.